Hello and welcome back to Superman Comic Day. Today we are continuing our way through Superman number 2. This is the final story in Superman number 2, Superman and the Skyscrapers. This is probably the least interesting of the new stories that are in Superman number 2. It's the last and it's the most by-the-number story. It's basically a mobster story where he just kind of threatens and throws mobsters around until he gets to the guy who's in charge and then makes the guy who's in charge turn himself in. Honestly, that's all you really need to know about this comic, but we'll get into a little more detail. Apologies in advance, they are filming a commercial next door and they're setting everything up right now, so if you hear any loud bangs in the background, that's why. I'll try to clean it up, no guarantees. So in 5 days, 5 people working on a skyscraper have fallen to their death, which has led to investigations and problems for the construction companies working on those skyscrapers. This is too much of a coincidence for Superman. Honestly, it should have been too much of a coincidence after 3. That's a trend. We're now at 5. So Superman, you know, Superman, bright blue costume, red cape. Superman goes off flying to investigate the skyscrapers. Well, not exactly flying, he's still just jumping around. At a certain point, it just becomes the same difference. He goes to the first construction of a skyscraper he sees. He happens to watch the night watchman as he is sabotaging the building. Superman goes to stop him, he kind of panics and falls off the skyscraper. So this would be like 6 men in 6 days. Unless one of those men died earlier that day, it's unclear. Superman jumps after him and catches him. Literally every story in this comic proves that Superman could have saved that guy in the first issue that Ultra the Humanite was in. It wouldn't be that big of a problem if we didn't prove it. The Night Watchman is thankful and explains who hired him to sabotage the building, a Butch Gorgon. I got a little excited because, as I said, I was really into this guy named Butch being the first, villain Superman kind of fights all the way back in Action Comics number 1. To a point that I just kind of hoping that a bunch of guys named Butch showed up so I could do a story about how, a council of Butches trying to ruin Superman's life one day. And I thought this might be that Butch again, but it's a different Butch. So we now have a second member of my council of Butches, a Butch Gordon. Superman goes to find Butch. He goes to his house where another man happens to be. He won't tell Superman where Butch is, so Superman takes him outside and starts tossing him up in the air and catching him like he's a baby. Except he throws him way too high in the air. Butch happens to be coming home, and apparently from the backside of the home, and sneaks up on Superman pointing a gun at him. Of course, the gun doesn't work. We know how these mobster stories go. Guns don't work on Superman. And now Superman has his sights on Butch Gorgon. After some threats and some abilities that terrify Butch, Butch explains who hired him. Nate Grayson, a owner of a construction company, wants to be the only game in town, so he's sabotaging all the other construction companies so he can be the only one who builds skyscrapers in Metropolis. Almost panicked because I couldn't remember if Metropolis had been introduced yet. Yes, it has. We definitely have Metropolis. So with them dealt with, Superman goes to confront Nate Grayson. Nate Grayson gets the heads up that Superman's coming for him, and he's actually prepared. He has this, I don't know if we could call it a panic room. It is a big, still room with really thick doors that no one should be able to break into. He also has explosives set up. So I don't know what Nate Grayson was expecting one day, especially if he doesn't know Superman exists. We're definitely in that vague time where people don't seem to know who Superman is, so I don't know, he doesn't really say anything. Superman arrives and Nate Grayson immediately starts blowing up his own house. I mean, it's ridiculous, but at least he's trying something against Superman. Superman kind of dodges each explosion until he's able to get to the door and just rips it open. Now that he has his hand on Nate Grayson, the story is going to end. So with the constant threats, Nate Grayson immediately just turns himself into the police. There's even a joke from the police officers he surrenders to about how easy this was. They don't usually beg to be thrown into prison. I mean, it's either prison or Superman, and prison is probably the safer bet. He'll throw you up in the air over and over again until you do something. Maybe not the greatest threat. That sounds a little fun. Especially in his warm embrace. Where was I? So that's finally end of Superman number 2. We will return to Action Comics tomorrow. I didn't really have much to say here. It's not a very memorable story. It's pretty much almost the same kind of story we've been getting for most of these issues, though I would say it's even barren with plot points compared to the other stories. We did get an exciting explosion at one point, and one villain who seemed to be somewhat prepared for Superman. Guess that's a improvement with challenge. So this was short. Tomorrow will probably be much longer. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday, and Fridays is now Bat Friday as I cover Batman stories. And until tomorrow, please ponder the question, whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow? Bye.